Hello, everyone. How are you? As you can hear, I am still congested, but I am well. Happy New Year. I pray that everyone had a wonderful and blessed Christmas and New Year's. We are beginning our new year with a new podcast. The new podcast that you will be listening to will be my little brother, who is 45 years old and has been battling colon cancer for the past almost 2 years. Well, a year and a half. We started last year in 2022 of August. And this August made a year. And within that year, after the year, his cancer progressed. And once they did a CAT scan, they saw that the mass that they had taken out from doing his first surgery, when the colon, or the between the colon and the stomach, it had burst basically. And well, the cancer was definitely in the colon, and it burst, and he ended up with an ostomy bag. And from there, we did really well. He was getting his treatments, and he was doing really, really well for a whole year, right? And um, fast forward to 2023 of August, and the cancer, we were told by the oncologist that it had progressed again in pretty much the similar area from where they had first done his surgery. And the next podcast that you'll listen to is basically his version of what has gone on, where we are at the moment, which is, as of right now, we have been told that he will be no longer receiving chemo. And that's because the cancer is no longer shrinking. And so it has not been easy for my family and I. It is quite difficult. My little brother is pretty much my end all be all. I have a sister, and my siblings are my everything, right? Next to my daughter, my siblings are my everything. And as the older sister living with my brother, uh, it's just, difficult. We lost our mom to cancer. She had a pancreatic cancer, but it was called sarcoma. It was a type of sarcoma cancer. So in the following podcast will be my brother talking about his walk with this. This is his second bout of cancer. He had cancer at 15. It was non-Hodgkin's disease, and it was found and it was treated, and he was fine from 15 to 43, I want to say 44. And here we are again. So I thank you to all my listeners, and I pray that this podcast helps you and gives you comfort. Please, 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 if you have any questions or anything that you would like to know, please send me an email at blackgirljoyllc@gmail.com, and I'll be more than happy to answer those questions. Or if I don't know the answer, I will then refer it to someone who can help you, because I'm not an end-all be-all of everything. But I believe, and I started this with God because of my menopause, and my journey is really for having a healthier self, right? Self-care is important, and I will continuously advocate for self-care, right? For you to go and get the right information with the right doctors and have knowledge so that you are able to enter into that doctor's office asking questions and looking for answers. And if you're not happy with that doctor or with the answers that you've received, to know that it is okay to get a second and a third and a fourth and a fifth opinion until you are satisfied that you are equipped enough to go in there and deal with whatever it is that you are going through. All right. I thank you again to my listeners all around the world. And 2023 has been a interesting year, but I believe that 2024 will bring us great victory, right? I believe that it will bring us great victory. So again, the next podcast, or the next part of this recording you will hear will be my little brother, Jose Rosario. And we are in the process of moving him to hospice care so that he can continue with as much life as God has given him, and we can continue to just love on him while he is still here. So again, thank you. I send you much love from Black Girl Joy, this team, to you. Happy New Year. God bless you guys. Talk to you soon. Peace and blessings.
Okay. So anyway, as I was asking you, Joe, what is it that you're feeling? How are you feeling with what's going on now in this new, I don't even know, this new period that we're in? Because you said you were angry, you said you were, what were the other feelings that you were saying?
I forgot now.
Oh.
But I feel alright. But at the same time, like I said, I'm angry because I thought people that, you fight and you win.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was doing.
But you did fight.
Yeah, I know. But I fought for no reason, it looks like.
No, you
That's
got...
what it seems to me.
Okay, babe. Do you think... I'll get you a tissue, but you got a year out of it, right, babe?
True, but still.
Mm-hmm. It's okay, hermano.
I just don't want to go. I really want to not go and beat this shit, I swear.
Right. I'm sorry, hermano.
And that makes me so angry, like, damn it, why?
Right. 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 Because, cancer is it's very painful. I know that you're going through a lot of pain.
Pain ain't the word for that one, holy shit.
Right. Right.
I thought the first round was hard shit.
Right.
Second round makes us look like the first round like a piece of fucking
cake.
Right? Shit.
Right. And having colon cancer is not easy.
As they said, yeah, because what's his name that passed from it? I think the Black Panther guy.
Yeah, Boseman.
Yeah.
Right. And he lost a lot of weight. He deteriorated, and I know, like, when they were talking about Chadwick Boseman, and when they were talking about him, they were, saying awful things, like if he was on drugs or whatever, not understanding that he was actually dealing with colon cancer.
Yeah.
So we'll backtrack and we'll say that before all this started and you, like I was telling the doctor, you weren't really eating, you were having pains, you were, it was a process. And what was your thinking then? Like, what were you thinking? That it was going to pass? Or before we knew it was cancer, like, what did you think?
Before then, I thought it was just a regular, one of those regular stomachache everybody gets from eating too damn much or something in the food that didn't want to agree with your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought it off like nothing.
Right.
I was like, maybe I just ate something at Nally's and it just made me sick for a while. Okay, I'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. And you didn't, and then what made you go to the doctor? Or what made, because I know, but nobody else knows. But what made you, decide to go to the doctor just to get your regular checkup? Okay, then the question is, this is another thing. Did you actually tell the doctor that you were seeing your primary care what was going on with you? Or did you not, because I know that you're very cheery and, hey, everything is all right kind of guy.
Did I?
Do you remember?
You mean Dr. Providence you talking about, right?
Uh-huh.
No, I don't think I told her anything.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember. I really don't remember if I did, but I don't think I did, to be honest.
Oh, okay. All right. That's an honest assessment. So when the first year of so basically we got to the place where you were in so much pain and we ended up in the emergency room, come to find out that your stomach had erupted.
Yeah.
And basically it all erupted into your colon, right? And we found pus and feces in the colon. So that was really what had happened, right? From the stomach erupting because of the tumor and the cancer.
Yeah.
And then they gave you, from that, you ended up having a ostomy bag. How was that for you? Like emotionally, how did you feel? Like what were your emotions? Because you never really talked about like how you felt having, I know you said you joined the group on Instagram or something, but you didn't really talk about how you felt about the ostomy bag. How,
I hated it.
Right.
Because every time I tell you, I think I took a shit more times than I did when I didn't have the bag, yo. I was running to the bathroom like crazy. I was like, yo, how much shit coming out of me?
Right. Well, that was because there was so much backed up also. Right.
That shit was crazy. I was like, damn it, I just cleaned you. Now I'm going to clean you again?
Right.
I'm like, we're wasting bags here.
Did you feel like how were you emotionally? Did it make you feel insecure? Did it make you, what were some of the things that people were saying even in the groups, like how the ostomy bag made them feel, or, you're having pain? I'll press.
Thank you. It just made, sometimes, to be honest, I was depressed about it. Because I was like, damn, I have to shit like this for the rest of my life. Like, this fucking sucks.
Right.
I was kind of depressed about it.
But you never said anything. Interesting.
The reason why is because I just didn't want people, to be honest, I just didn't want to be babied, to be honest.
Okay.
Because that's when I went back to work for that short week, at least, or whenever I did. That's what I told my coworkers. I'm okay. Just don't treat me like I'm a baby right now.
Right.
'Cause that makes me feel, that's going to make me feel worse. And then it's like, shit.
Right.
That's why I never really talked about it to anybody, because I didn't want to be treated like a baby like that.
But what do you mean treated like a baby? Like
no, don't do that. I'll do it for you. Or I'll get it for you.
Right.
or things like that. That's why I was like,
So you didn't want any special treatment.
exactly,
Right?
yeah.
But in
Even though I know
retrospect,
you're my sister and all.
right. But in retrospect, you also know that you couldn't lift a lot of things anymore. You couldn't do the normal things because you're working.
Yeah.
You're a male person, so you couldn't work
Couldn't pick up
and
package
pick up
past 15
packages like
pounds.
you do. Yeah, you couldn't do any of those things. So even with that, I mean, it's not like you were being babied. It was just things that you could no longer do.
Yeah.
Right. And because of the pressure and what it would do to the ostomy and what it would do
To me, then I'll feel pain afterwards. Then I had to take that pain medicine they gave me, which was actually Coldone 5 milligrams.
Right.
Which it did help, though. I can't say it didn't. It did help.
So
It just took a while to kick in, though.
Right. So you were also on a lot of pain medications.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
right?
yeah, just the Oxy, I think it was. Only
Just the Oxy at
you
that
started
time.
out with.
Right. And so then how did we get to now you having another bag or, a tube coming out of you, right? We got to there after a year because you stayed well for a while.
Yeah.
And then we noticed on the scans, or it was noticed on the scans that the cancer was actually growing because you kept having the pain in the pelvis, right?
Yeah. Every time I peed, it didn't hurt when I was peeing, but it would hurt afterwards. Like,
Right.
I'll get like this. It will start out small, and then after, it started out small, but then afterwards it kind of like intense a little bit more and
Right.
more. So I had to run and sit down real quick.
Right, because the pain was... Right.
Exactly, because the pain will go away after a while. When I sit, it will sometimes just fade away on its own without me taking one of the pills.
Right. And you really didn't know that what it was actually that the cancer was growing back.
Yeah,
right?
that I didn't know.
So then when we come to a little bit later and they do scans, because I think it was once after every 6 treatments, we would do scans to see if the cancer on the liver was decreasing because when the rupture happened, some of the I want to say this medically correctly, but some of the cancer or the tumor basically splattered onto the liver. And that's how we also ended up with having to treat the liver. And we were going to go to Sloan Kettering to see if you could do that whole infusion thing. Oh, but they also
I was
put
looking
pellets.
forward to that.
Right. And if we remember correctly, they also put that stent
Yeah, that
inside.
Y90 thing.
Y90, right? You didn't like that.
We should have rejected that because
We should have.
I don't think it helped anything, to be honest.
Right.
Because I was still having pain in the pelvis area. And you did that for what reason? Like,
right.
It didn't really do anything to the cancer, right?
Right. No, I mean, the Y90 really, if I remember correctly, was actually just to help with the cancer cells in the liver.
To, decrease, right?
Right, I think,
But it didn't do it. It didn't feel like it did that, so...
No, it didn't really do much to it. And then we get to where we do the last scan, and the last scan shows that the tumor had grown back in the area of where the doctor had taken it out. So it had grown back and grown a little. It had become more aggressive.
Yes.
And then we began to, and they were going to do. They were trying to do another surgery, but unfortunately the surgery didn't work, and they couldn't. Right. They couldn't scrape out the cancer that was where it was because at this point it had wrapped around your organs.
And it says, I think she said that if they do if she does try to reach it, then my bowels will fall out or something like that.
Right, they would fall apart, right.
Yeah, something like that she was saying.
Right, so there was no need. So they wanted to So what they end up putting is a peg tube in your stomach to drain the
because they gave us 3 options.
Right, they had given us 3 options.
To be honest, me and you and Natalie was going for option
number 1. Right, which was to reconnect the colon and to then have everything working. But unfortunately, once they went in, they couldn't do this. They couldn't reconnect the colon, and they really couldn't take out any of the tumor because it had basically wrapped around the organs.
Yeah.
Or your pelvis area. And so it would have really caused more damage if they had tried to do anything to it. So you end up now with this peg tube, and this peg tube has basically given us a whole lot of
different
difficulties and problems, because we've ended up in the emergency room at least 3-4 times. The last time, for long periods of time, because recently in the month of September, I think it's October, or maybe October into November. Maybe it's October into November. We ended up in the hospital for a month and a half. And in going home, the medications were not, they were given, but they were not given completely, and all of that. And there was a whole thing with the medications. But within that time, how did you feel? How did the peg tube now emotionally, what did it do to you emotionally? Physically, I know it hurts. I know that it's painful. I know that because the wound does not heal. So it's a constant soreness. And there are complications with having your peg tube, because for twice in a row now we've been in the hospital for E. coli, because the ostomy is still not working. Yeah, it's twice. So,
shoot. I thought we had it once.
No, that's why I was telling the doctor. So there's been 2 infections, right? And because so you started getting chemo, and you were getting the red devil, it's really called. It's called red devil or fall fox, which is a more intensive dose of chemotherapy. And basically what it was to see if we could reduce or shrink the cancer that was obstructing the pelvis area and but in the interim of all of that, while being on the peg tube, now that you can't absorb any of your nutrients or things like that, basically you were on TPN. And being on TPN, first we started at 2,000 mLs, but it was making your legs swell because it was too much water, and so we had to adjust that, right?
Thank God the swelling went down too.
Yeah, exactly. And in adjusting that to 1,500, your legs weren't swelling anymore, but due to the fact that you really couldn't eat and your body was no longer absorbing, you lost even more weight. And you've been losing weight ever since to where we are today. And so with that has also been a challenge with having this type of cancer and going through what you're going through. But now that we have come to this end of this part, like, I know you said you were sad. You cried a little bit. I know you said you were angry because you feel like you fought and you're not winning. Hard. But I think that you did win. You won for a good time. For at least you got a year out of it.
Hoping I get at least another year.
When you weren't really trying to even fight in the beginning.
No, I know. I remember I said I didn't want to go back on treatment.
Right.
But you, Nelly, Shannon, Maritza, y'all just, I don't know. I guess I just said, you know what? They want me to try Jose, because you never know what can happen.
Right.
So that's why I was like, you know what? All right, let's do it.
Well, you were also not wanting to try because of your past experience as
Yeah.
far as having cancer. You had non-Hodgkin's disease at 15.
No one keep forgetting that name, too.
Yeah, it's non-Hodgkin's disease at 15. And because you had non-Hodgkin's disease at 15, you and everything that you went through for that year and a half or 2 years of getting chemo and everything, and mom and dad going and helping you and doing whatever they had to do for you. But you beat that, right? Because you, from 15 till now, you beat that, and here we are today, so you have won. But I guess the second time around, sometimes with cancer, depending on the person, nothing is ever the same, can be difficult, right?
Yes, it can.
And here we find ourselves now at maybe the end of things. And like, if you wanted to tell someone who is struggling basically with colon cancer, or even struggling with having the issues that you were having before unfortunately the body made you go to the hospital, right? What would you tell people? What would you say to them? If you had to tell someone, I think you need to go get checked out.
I'll tell them to go and do it, because you don't want to end up like me. Look at me, they had to cut half my intestines out so I can actually use the bathroom and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to walk around with this bag on you, and I know it's going to be kind of hard, because you never, you wasn't born with this like that.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to like walk around with it. So that's why I'm glad my coworker Tom, he decided to go get it, because at first he didn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
He was hesitant about it, because like, oh, I don't want no camera put up there.
Right.
And this, that, and the third. I'm like, yo, dude, you don't want to end up like me.
Right. And that's a colonoscopy that he went to get.
Yeah.
Because in order for them to detect colon cancer, they need to do a colonoscopy.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, and I told him that.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, yeah, I understand. Yeah, I don't want no camera on my butt neither, but
right.
At least it helps you to
detect
detect
your
it.
Life.
Exactly. At least it helps to see, like, oh, okay, you have cancer. Let's get it.
Or you have polyps, because really what it is there are polyps within the lining of the colon, and depending on how it looks, sometimes they can just go in and take them all out while they're in there. And, they can,
I didn't know
see
that.
anything.
I just thought it was like a cell would be there and it would just grow.
Well, the cells can be there, but it's their polyps that continue to grow. So if you catch it early, it can be treated early. And then you can have treatment, and they will monitor you over the next few years.
That's why I was telling Trevor, like, yo, I would have wished this on my worst enemy if I had any.
Right.
Besides up to this stage, it was a roller coaster. It was good and bad at times. And I understand why Marissa was telling me that, oh, don't worry, the good times are coming back around again. And I did believe her.
Right.
Because sometimes I'm feeling... And then I'm back like, hey, what's up? What's good?
Right.
So it's like
some
a back
days you
and
were
forth.
tired, and some days it was just not right.
Not my day.
Right, because when you first had the first session of chemo, when you were coming home, you said your legs were wobbly and you were tired.
I was shocked when I felt that, because Dr. Providence didn't say anything. No, not Dr. Providence. Dr. Pompalova didn't say anything about that, so I think I called her that day, and she was even shocked. She was like, "For real?" I was like, "Yeah, my legs feel like I've been running up and down all day or something." It's like, "Oh, that's something that she never heard of."
Right.
So she said she was gonna look into that.
Right.
Which she did.
Right.
Because some people said that, I think she said that some of her patients did get that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, but it goes away to like, give it like a few days, it ends up going away and your legs go back to normal where I could walk up and down like I used to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then with getting the FOLFOX, they had to heavily sedate you or give you a lot of drugs because
Yeah, that first round was...
right, because it was very painful. But after that, you got a whole lot of drugs before, a prep before, in order for you to be able to tolerate the Red Devil. Because also, one, you didn't have a lot of weight on you, and you needed some type of fat, which of course we know that you did not have any fat. And then on top of that, you also needed to be able to tolerate the chemo. And unfortunately, we're here because you really couldn't tolerate it.
Oh, yeah.
So then I guess my question is, after all of this, like how, knowing what you know now, I mean, obviously we all know that you would have done different, but knowing what you know now and where life is going for you, we think, what would you like to say to your friends, your family, or whoever?
Hello. What I like to say, though, what I like to say is, if you people get a chance to get that X-ray, get that test done,
It's a colonoscopy.
the colonoscopy, do it. Just do it, because
Keep talking.
it's no joke what I went through. It's no joke, and catch it early, because you'll be better off.
Right, because you were diagnosed. And by the time they caught it, you were diagnosed.
Exactly. So it was too late for me,
Stage 4.
It might not be too late for you to catch it quick. So they tell you to do it. Do it. Like they said on the news, they lowering the age anyway.
Right.
I think it's 35 now, they're saying. I think.
It is? Okay, I didn't see
I think. I'm not sure. You have to look that up.
Yeah,
no, it was already 45 already.
It was?
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure. I thought it was 50.
I think they dropped it a little bit more down because a lot of people are getting that.
Right.
So if you can, do it. Don't sit there and hesitate.
Wow.
I say do it.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you, hermano, for just talking and allowing me to do this, because it's also healing for me as I'm going through this with you. And I am your caregiver. But I just want to say thanks. And I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you again for taking the time to listen to Black Girl Joy. Please remember to like and share our podcast, and also find us on Facebook at Black Girl Joy LLC. Have a wonderful and joyous day.